Welcome and thank you for being with us this evening for tonight's meeting of the Berkeley County Board of Education, Tuesday, January 27th, 2015. I call the meeting to order, declare that a quorum has been present and that the media has been notified. Do I have a motion and a second regarding tonight's approval of agenda?
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Schwabe. All those in favor of approving tonight's agenda, please indicate by saying aye.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, go ahead. Mr. McQuillan, you have the microphone.
Is the legal issues motion that I proposed on tonight's agenda, or could it possibly be put on the agenda after our executive session?
As I spoke with you earlier, the legal fees item is not on tonight's agenda. We are scheduled to receive a briefing from legal counsel in executive session. At that time, the board can have a full discussion on the matter, and you can submit the agenda for the item or agenda item for the next February meeting.
I just want the record to reflect this is the second school board meeting where you've refused to put this issue on the agenda.
All right, Ms. Schwabe, please reflect Mr. McQuillan's comments. Any further comment, Mr. McQuillan? We'll call the question. All those in favor of approving tonight's agenda, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign.
Aye.
The motion, can I get a roll call, please? If I could, Mr. McQuillan. All those in favor of the motion, please indicate by aye. Raise your right hand.
Aye.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All those in opposition to approving tonight's agenda, please raise your hand. Madam Schwabe, were you able to get that? Madam Secretary, were you able to get that vote?
Yes, sir. I'll try. Thank you.
Thank you. The motion carries. Tonight's approval of the agenda has been approved 6-3. Thank you very much. Now for tonight's opening prayer and pledge of allegiance, we encourage all to join us this evening. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll move now to agenda item number 4, approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of January 13th, 2015. Do I have a motion and a second for the approval of January 13th's minutes?
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Ms. Walford. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. A motion has been made by Mrs. Walford, seconded by Mr. Wright, to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of the January 13th, 2015 meeting. Do I have any discussion regarding the motion? We'll call the question. All those in favor of the motion to approve the minutes of January 13th, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. That motion carries unanimously. Moving on to agenda item number 5, entitled Approval of December 2014 Head Start Budget Expenditures Report, December 2014 Head Start Credit Card Report, Self-Assessment Improvement Plan, Strategic Plan, Training and Technical Assistance Plan, Eligibility, Recruitment, Selection, Enrollment, and Attendance Plan, and the Child Development Coach Job Description. Do I have a motion and a second regarding agenda item 5?
Mr. Chair, I make the motion to approve the December 2014 Head Start information as presented in agenda item 5.
Thank you, Mr. McQuillan. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Obie. We have a motion by McQuillan, second by Obie, to approve agenda 5 as presented. Do we have any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All those in favor of approving agenda item number 5 to approve the December 2014 Head Start information as presented in agenda item 5, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. The motion carries unanimously. Now we'll move to Legacy Builders, Agenda Item 6. Tonight we have special recognition for School Board Appreciation Month by the Teacher Forum, Tracy Freeman, South Carolina School Nurse of the Year, Renee Nouvelle, South Carolina Council for Exceptional Children's Exceptional Educator of the Year, and Advanced Placement Recognition. Thank you. The microphone is yours.
Thank you. Hello, Chairman Murray, Dr. Thompson, and members of the board. On behalf of Teacher Forum, we just wanted to take this time to just give our appreciation and gratitude for all that you do for us. We know that this is a tough job and that you work long hours and you attend a lot of meetings and that the thank yous are few and far between. But we want you to know that we very much appreciate the hard work and the effort that you put in to fight for the children of Berkeley County. So I wanted to give you an opportunity to hear from someone that you impact the most. And so I am extremely honored that one of my students would like to share his own letter of gratitude for you. So, Michael Johnson, do you want to come up here?
This is Michael.
Hello, Chairman Murray, Dr. Thompson, and members of the board. My name is Michael. I am in second grade with my teacher, Miss Reeder. I go to school at Marrington Elementary. My favorite subject is science because we do great experiments with what we learned. This is a note for school board for the support and helpful hard work. Dear school board, I appreciate you and your support. Here are some ways you help us. You help us get a good education for school, and you help us to remember what is best for us. I think that is thoughtful, and I am very thankful. Your friend, Michael. P.S. You're invited to come to our school if you like.
The other students in Berkeley County, all across the district, made you some cards, and so we wanted to present those to you as well, just to show our gratitude. So, my other Teacher Forum members will help me.
Ms. Reeder, while those are being distributed, the board would like to thank you and Michael. Michael, thank you so much for the wonderful speech and referring to us as your friend. It is great to have a good friend. For those, while we're distributing these thank you notes, the Teacher Forum put on a wonderful reception for the school board this evening. We are so grateful for that. We thank you. And the food, which was just absolutely wonderful, was prepared by our students in the culinary arts classes at Stratford High School. So thank you very much, Teacher Forum. Thank you so much. And it was a wonderful reception. Outstanding. Michael, before you get away from me, you're the reason we are here. And I would hope that every member of the board sitting up here never forgets that. We are here for you. Thank you, Michael. Michael, you're gonna make my day again, sir. Thank you. Oh. Wow. Would anybody else like to say anything to Michael? Go ahead, Ms. Swafford.
Is Michael's family here?
Would y'all please stand?
How proud are you?
Yay! Good job. Good job.
I actually heard about Michael and that he was headed this way, but the description does not do justice. You are a perfect gentleman, and we are very thankful you're here with your teacher. We're proud of her, too. Thank you.
I want y'all to know that when I offered that they could write their own speech and come tonight, he was so excited. He wrote that entire thing by himself, and when I told him that I'd chosen him, he got pretty excited and did a pretty elaborate dance.
Well, we're glad Michael has a lot to say. Thank y'all for being here. Absolutely. All right, we're moving forward. All right, next up, we'll continue with our special recognition this evening. Next up, we'll honor our South Carolina School Health LPN of the Year, Miss Tracy Freeman. Miss Murray, the microphone is yours.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, Dr. Thompson, members of the board, and all of you who have joined us tonight. We all know that there's some truly wonderful people doing outstanding things in our district. And I'm just here to highlight some of those things that have happened recently. And the first is our little poet. So Little Miss Nadia President, a second grade student at Cross Elementary School, won first place in the primary division of the 2015 National Career Development Association's Poetry and Poster Contest. She wrote a really cool poem about how she wants to be a police officer when she grows up. The competition is conducted annually by the National Career Development Association in conjunction with the South Carolina Department of Education, Office of Career and Technology Education, and its purpose is to promote career awareness at all grade levels in school. Next, it's all about the golden ticket. To qualify for the first LEGO League state competition, area schools have to get a golden ticket. It's kind of like Willy Wonka, except there's no chocolate factory. Maybe there's a Lego factory, but there's no chocolate factory. The goal of the South Carolina First LEGO League and Robotics Education, Inc. is to build students' interest and capabilities in STEM subjects. So we're talking science, technology, engineering, and math, which in turn increases the pool of talented students who pursue careers in these areas. And with that, it's my pleasure to announce that some Berkeley County teams received golden tickets. And they are Berkeley Intermediate, Westview Elementary, and Westview Middle Schools teams, and they'll all advance to the state competition. Now, as many of you know, our district spelling bee was last Thursday evening. And Hannah O., who's a student at Daniel Island School, won first place. And now Hannah and 11 other students from our district will compete against students from Charleston, Dorchester, and Colleton counties. They'll also compete against private and homeschool students. And it's all happening on Thursday, March 12th, during Spellbound, which is the regional spelling bee at Charleston Southern University. Now, as I mentioned earlier, we have a lot of wonderful people in our district doing outstanding and excellent work. And two of those people are here with us tonight. So the first is Miss Tracy Freeman. Tracy Freeman, who's a licensed practical nurse, has been named South Carolina's 2014-2015 School Health LPN of the Year. The South Carolina Department of Health and Environmental Control and the South Carolina Department of Education give this annual award to an LPN practicing in a school setting who provides outstanding nursing services to a school community. Now, when I read through Ms. Freeman's information, I was completely floored. I didn't understand how she got it all done in 24 hours, but you'll see why in just a minute, or how in just a minute. Ms. Freeman is a certified CPR, darkness to light, and bloodborne pathogen instructor. She also serves as the health services specialist for the Berkeley Dorchester Head Start program. She's a nurse liaison for all Head Start programs across Berkeley, Dorchester 2, and Dorchester District 4 school districts. She works closely with registered nurses to develop individualized care plans for students. She's the school nurse at Fishburne Educational Center, where she manages and tracks the growth and development of all Berkeley Dorchester Head Start students. She also assists with the development of the severe allergy and anaphylaxis plan for Berkeley County schools, and she facilitated the necessary documentation required to ensure each school has EpiPens. And even past all of those things, she also organized the Health Service Advisory Committee, which collaborates with local pediatricians, physicians, dentists, mental health care providers, and other specialists who can give assistance and educational support to parents, teachers, and students. So at this time, if you would, Ms. Freeman, please come forward and receive this certificate recognizing this awesome achievement and all of the work that you do in Berkeley County Schools.
Congratulations, Ms. Freeman.
And our next outstanding person who's here tonight is Dr. Renee Nouvelle, who's a resource teacher at Cross Elementary. She was named South Carolina Council for Exceptional Children's Exceptional Educator of the Year. This award is given in recognition of an educator's exemplary performance as a special education teacher, their ability to creatively inspire students through innovative methods of instruction, their involvement with professional organizations, and their demonstration of leadership within schools and communities. Dr. Nouvelle's work and organizational affiliations are also jaw-dropping. She is national board certified. She serves as a mentor to new and veteran teachers in special education. She regularly facilitates professional development sessions, teaching colleagues how to use SRA's direct instruction reading curriculum for elementary, middle, and high school teachers. Recently, she was certified in the Wilson Reading System, achieving the highest level for classroom education. She's also a senior level certified crisis intervention trainer and conducts regularly scheduled training for professionals and other school staff in the Crisis Prevention Institute curriculum. Dr. Nouvelle is a member of several professional and community organizations, including International Reading Association, Palmetto State Teacher Association, South Carolina Education Oversight Committee Task Force, the Berkeley County Reading Council, Smile of a Child, and Tri-County Autism, and that's just to name a few. Additionally, she was an author and international speaker for the A21 campaign, which is an organization that fights human trafficking and other social injustices. And all of that is in a day's work for Dr. Nouvelle. So please, at this time, would you come forward to be recognized for your awesome achievements and your work in the district?
Same drill. I'm going to take this. Okay.
And at this time, Dr. O'Gorman has a few special recognitions of his own.
Thank you very much. Have y'all ever received one of those emails and you read it and you knew that somebody was excited as they hit the send button? I got one from our gifted and talented coordinator, Miss Mary Fisher. You want to stand up and wave to the crowd? So here's the headline of the email that she sent me. Berkeley County School District is one of only 547 school districts in the U.S. and Canada being honored by the College Board with placement of the 5th Annual AP, that's Advanced Placement, District Honor Roll for increasing access to AP coursework while simultaneously maintaining or increasing the percentage of students earning scores of 3 or higher on AP exams. And I'm proud to say that every single one of our high schools contributed to that award for the district. Every single school did something to help the district achieve that. So I'm going to ask the principals as I call your school out if you could come up. We've got something for you here. Ms. Fisher, you want to come up and help us just hand these out? Berkeley High School increased their passage rate by 13%. Let's give them a round of applause. Cane Bay High School increased their enrollment by 10%. And I'm just hitting the highlights. Some of them had multiple things going well. Cross High School increased enrollment by 12%. Goose Creek High School increased enrollment by 7%. Hanahan High School by 6%. There's Mr. Raycroft. Stratford High School increased their passage rate by 8%. And Timberland High School increased their enrollment by 6%. It's great when a team comes together for a great cause. So once again, every single high school contributed by increasing enrollment and or percentage passing. If you pass the AP exam, you actually get college credit. Let's give him one more big round of applause.
Well, thank you and congratulations to all of our high school principals. It's been a great night. We got to meet our new friend Michael, which was outstanding. We got to recognize the South Carolina for the whole state, the LPN of the year. We also got to recognize Dr. Nouvelle, who is the exceptional educator of the year for the entire state of South Carolina, and to end with our high school principals being recognized for their AP accomplishments. It is a great day in Berkeley County, and I think you all deserve another round of applause, and we appreciate it. Yes, absolutely. Up next is citizen comments, and we traditionally use this as an opportunity for our guests, if you would like to exit. We have a long agenda we must complete, so we will give you this opportunity to exit and get prepared for yet another school day tomorrow. Once again, congratulations to all of you. While our guests are exiting, I'll go ahead and begin by reading the citizen comments procedures. Mr. Ruhr, you are up first if you'd like to approach the microphone. In order to conduct the meeting in an orderly and efficient manner, we ask that you honor the following guidelines. Stakeholder comments are welcomed and encouraged. However, the board will not take immediate action on public comments at this meeting. Any person wishing to address the board must register prior to the meeting. Comments must be regarding programs, policies, or procedures. Comments regarding complaints against employees other than district-level executives or references to students other than the child of the speaker will not be heard in public session. Groups addressing the same topic should select one speaker. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes per speaker. The board chair reserves the right to allot additional time or halt public comments that do not adhere to the guidelines. Mr. Ruhr, welcome back. Tonight, Mr. Ruhr would like to offer a gift to the district's teachers. Mr. Ruhr, the microphone is yours.
Good evening, Chairman Murray, Superintendent Thompson, and board members. I like the positive atmosphere I'm sensing in the boardroom tonight. When I said that I wanted to offer a gift, actually the gift is from our founding fathers. I'm talking about the U.S. Constitution. I've been in contact with my friends in Washington, D.C., Freedom Works. They're a think tank and based in Washington, and they are willing to provide copies, pocket copies of the U.S. Constitution to any of your classes, your high school class, civics classes, or others that would like to have them. I'm going to give each one of you a copy now with my contact information in it. If you would find out which teachers and how many they want and let me know, we'll get them ordered. And I'll be putting another pile over there on the table if anybody out here would like some. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ruhr. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. We appreciate the assistance to our teachers as well. And I believe that we need to congratulate you on the Buckeyes victory a week or so ago. Yes, yes, I saw you wearing your scarlet the other week. All right, next up will be our final speaker of the evening. And if I have mispronounced your name, please correct me. Rachel Nussbaum? Rachel, Miss Nussbaum? Did I pronounce your name correctly? Yes, sir. Oh, okay. Would you have some supporters, please? Come on up. Please come on up and support Rachel. Absolutely. It's great to see our students coming to speak with us, and it's also great to see you supporting your classmates. Rachel would like to speak on the future of the alternate A-B schedule at Berkeley High School. Rachel, the microphone is yours.
Good evening, board members. Thank you for allowing me to speak to you tonight. My name is Rachel Nussbaum, and I am a senior at Berkeley High School. I came here tonight to speak on the behalf of over 459 students in regards to the AB schedule at Berkeley. Over the course of the last week and a half, myself and another student, Andy Ferez, started a movement. Andy and I have found that the AB schedule brings excessive stress that we have never experienced from the 4x4. So we began to wonder just how many people feel the same way. This was when our petition began. Like I said before, I am a senior. I will not be returning next year, so I'm sure a lot of you are wondering why I even care. Well, my performance in school means everything to me, and it has for the past 4 years. This is the first year that I've ever experienced an AB schedule, and I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like it, and I'm going to tell you why. My largest reason is academics. The AB schedule disallows students from living up to their fullest potential. If a student does not take Algebra 1 in middle school, the highest level of math they can reach is pre-calculus. Before the AB schedule, students could potentially take 2 math courses or 2 English courses, and so on and so forth in one single year. Now, the only way you can do that is if you are in Scholars Academy. This is not fair to the rest of the students who are trying hard to succeed. The AB schedule limits our students' choice of classes and how they want to pursue their own education. The AB schedule also ruins students' grades. From my observations, test grades are lower, report card grades are lower, and attendance is lower among all students. Also, with every 9 weeks report card, each class is full of grades for only 4.5 weeks worth of material, not 9. For some classes, in 4.5 weeks, only 1 test is given. As a result, the grade for that 1 test pretty much determines the grade for that quarter. Also, with classes being spaced far apart, the material gets confusing and foggy. More students forget about upcoming tests and quizzes or forget to bring the correct materials to the correct classes. Also, having to have 8 classes worth of materials and supplies at one time is a lot to put on a student. We are kids, and this schedule is not only setting us up for failure, but inaccurately preparing us for college, seeing as we will never have 8 classes at one time in college. The norm is 4. In regards to college, the AB schedule hurts seniors who are trying to get there. Because no final grades are put in at the halfway mark, students lose the opportunity to move up in rank one more time before graduation. This can make students lose potential scholarship opportunities. Also, seniors who have all of their credits can no longer graduate early after the first semester. Again, this AB schedule takes away the student's right to choose what they feel is best for them. Being in high school means becoming independent and choosing what is best for oneself. The AB schedule does not allow students to do that. Now, I know that at this point I'm running out of time, so I ask all of you, why change what works? The 4x4 schedule worked at Berkeley. AB ultimately lowers academic success while heightening levels of stress and confusion. Any student who truly cares about their performance in school will agree that AB is not for Berkeley. Thank you for your time, and I've also created a list of 16 full reasons as to why the AB schedule is not for us. I was unable to cover all of these reasons in my speech tonight, so I have them printed out for all of you. Also, I have 1 copy of my speech and the 459 student signatures for you all.
Thank you for your comments, Rachel, for your assistance as well, Andy, and for all of the supporters who are here this evening. We certainly have heard your comments. We do not take these comments lightly. These comments are important to us because you are our customers. You are experiencing both the good and bad for the schedules we have in our schools. Dr. Thompson, I think you'd like to say a few things, so I'll go ahead and let you address Rachel and Andy and those others from Berkeley High School.
Rachel, thank you for your comments and the other students for coming and participating in public government. We do appreciate that. We had some students from Stratford at our last board meeting, and it is really a true pleasure to see people take an active role in their future, and that's what you're doing tonight. I would like to make a few comments. I know you're probably ready to go, but just give me 1 minute, okay? Earlier tonight, the board had a workshop in regards to career academies, so I want you to know that we are having conversations about career academies, and I realize over the last several weeks there have been much discussion about the high school schedule. And just to recap, the district started a 5-year plan in 2013 to implement a career academy model that engaged local business and industry into helping our students become truly college and career ready. In 2013, Goose Creek and Timberland High School, as part of a pilot, moved to the AB schedule. And that AB schedule allows students to be grouped together and selected career fields and allowed teachers to have common planning periods to discuss the students that they shared that were in the career-like fields. 2014, Berkeley and Cane Bay joined the pilot and moved to the AB schedule, which you currently are in. Currently, we are assessing data from the pilot programs and looking to make adjustments as necessary. So our next step, we will be providing surveys to students, parents, teachers, and stakeholders that are participating in the pilot. So I would encourage you as students at Berkeley High School, hopefully you'll get a survey by the end of the week that you can fill out. I don't know that every student at Berkeley County or at Berkeley High School will get the survey, but we'll get it to as many students as possible so we can have an accurate sample of your student body. So I encourage you to participate in that way and fill out the survey because your voice does matter. So thank you again for your comments tonight.
Thank you. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you, Rachel. If you'd like to distribute those, you come on. Absolutely, absolutely. While Rachel is distributing her, I believe it was 16 points, we'll move on to agenda item number 8. If Dr. Simons and the BWP Associates, if you could begin to approach the podium, we'll let you begin as soon as Rachel is through with distributing her material. Did a great job, Rachel.
Thank you.
Well done. Well spoken. All right.
Thank you very much. Good job.
All right, thank you. All right. Next up is agenda item number 8, BWP and Associates. For members of the audience, BWP and Associates is the search firm that the board has contracted with to assist us in our search for a new superintendent. Thank you. Dr. Simons, the microphone is yours.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Superintendent Thompson, it's a pleasure to be with you again. We've had a great couple of days. We got another one tomorrow, and we've had a lot of comment from a lot of different groups. And when we come back with a report on the profile, we'll also share with you some results of those comments and numbers. So we don't have them all tabulated today because we got another day to go tomorrow. Tonight, we'd like to just give you a very brief overview of the process, seek your permission and approval of some key decisions so we can really officially launch the search in terms of advertisements. And if the chair is so inclined, we'd be happy to answer any questions.
Absolutely.
With that, the standard process we use is to engage in a community process where people have input into the kinds of things they think are important in the consideration of the next superintendent. The 3 basic questions we seek responses to: what are the strengths of the district, what are the issues in the district, and what are the, call it, traits or characteristics, the qualities of the person that the board needs to seek. And we'll give you some feedback on what those comments have been. They've been very helpful to us. The key is that we need to understand the issues so we can recruit and inform candidates of the kinds of things that are here that are both good and also will require their attention. The other thing that it does, it hopefully will build community support for the process. And there are opportunities for that throughout, especially when you bring the candidates back and make decisions about how best to introduce them to the community when you choose your final 3. So it's an extended process. We proposed, and Mr. Chair, if it's all right, we'll go right into the, I want to thank the community relations, your community communications department. They've been superb, very helpful, and we couldn't have done it without their help. So we thank them all. I think some of them were here earlier. I'm not sure if they're still here. But they've been great, and they even gave us directions and addresses so we could find the places. So that's terrific. You got a big county, as you well know. Mr. Chair, with that, we'd like you as a board to approve a couple of things, and I'll walk through them separately if that's all right, so, and then we'll talk about them as you'd like. First off, we'd like you to approve a timeline. I think that is in your package. Now, you can change this any way you like. This is not in concrete. It's purely suggestive. We want a couple of things in the timeline. We want to be sure we beat the traffic. In other words, you want to be first in the block to offer the contract to the candidate that you choose. Some of these candidates, in fact, several, will probably be in more than one search. So you don't want to be late to the station. At the same time, you don't want to try to do it too quickly. You want to try to have enough time in the process so we can recruit and screen, and that's not an easy short-term task. A lot of calling, a lot of telephone conversations, and so the timeline is important to spread out enough to give us that time to do that work and still finish in time for you to offer a contract to your selected candidate. As you can see, we will be back on April 15th unless you wish to change that date to recommend candidates that we think are among the best for your consideration. We'll also share with you at that time any information about any candidate even beyond the ones that we think are among your best. And if you would like to bring in additional ones, that's your prerogative. We recommend that you have 2 interview periods. Some boards go with 1. We like 2 for a specific reason. When you first meet a candidate and first hear and engage with them, you will get some impression. The second time around is your chance to get confirmation of that impression or see if there's something you missed in the view. I always say to boards, and I don't mind saying this publicly, these folks, while they're also seeking more than one position, and will be interviewing you as you interview them because they're looking for the match, as you should. But most of these folks have had lots of experience in public speaking and under pressure, so they're good talkers. That's a good thing. But I always say you got to look beyond the talk because you're really looking at substance. And so when we come back, we may want to have more conversation around that with the questions that we can suggest for you to answer. And we will bring back a package of materials that will give you your slates, give you the profiles, the numbers of applicants by job description, and we'll give you some interview questions that you can consider. You choose the questions. These are your candidates. These are your questions. We're here to help you and support you. You might want to choose a community visit at the end of the process. That's your choice again. So we've given you some suggested dates for the first and second round interviews. The state of South Carolina, as you know, requires you to identify at least 3 candidates publicly. And we hope that we can finish the process and you can have a superintendent selected and begin the contracting process at the end of April. So that's sort of the timeline. Again, we can, Mr. Chair, if you want to work that with the board and see if they have any questions or hold them for later, that's your privilege. But
absolutely, we can certainly speak freely. If you have any questions for Dr. Simons or any of the team, please do so. That's fine. We'll work within those parameters. Thank you.
All right, sir. The salary is really a significantly important decision. This is a tough one because you want to be able to get the number high enough to attract the candidates that you want to consider. Right. At the same time, we also recognize the number that you choose is one which will receive some public scrutiny or applause. Hopefully more applause than scrutiny, but it inevitably will you'll have some scrutiny of it. We think you need to be in the 200 range. The higher the better, within reason, of course. But we looked at your similarly sized districts in South Carolina, and if you look outside the state at districts this size, you'll find even the salaries are going to be higher, especially in the upper middle Atlantic states. So you're going to be looking for candidates that other people will be looking for. So there's a lot of things that go into that. But I think salary is only one very important part. But a lot of superintendents are also looking for the working condition, the ability to feel good about working with the board. And the other thing I think is important is each candidate will bring a different set of skills and strengths. And the key is this district, can we communicate to them things that will be attract their passion to energize their work around it, and hopefully stay with you long enough to be able to sustain completion of the work task, which usually is sometime in the range of, it depends on the task, a year or 2, but more importantly, 4, 5, or 7 years. And you all know the duration of a superintendent's tenure is generally shorter than that. So you want to hire them and keep them. 5 years would be a goal to shoot for, or longer. And we'll work with you in the contract language, as will your attorneys when we get to that stage. But we would recommend on the other hand out there, some language we've crafted which we think gives you the flexibility to negotiate a contract, doesn't limit you. And I think you can see that language, but the language is the board expects to offer an initial multi-year contract with a negotiable salary of approximately, you pick the number, depending on qualifications and experience, plus a competitive benefit package. That gives you lots of room. And the good news is, while the number can be identified as a starting point, you got lots of negotiating room around the benefits, which is also an opportunity to pull the candidate to you. Now I'm going to ask, I want to introduce the team at this point, because Mary Ann Blaskowitz needs to come up here and help me out a little bit. Mary Ann Blaskowitz is part of our team. We have, I think, a great team. Mary Ann and Odell Stuckey, who's immediately behind me, we've been doing superintendent searches, mostly in South Carolina, for about 8 years. And we've developed that close, bonding, trusting relationship. And we couldn't do this work without each other. It's wonderful. We also have added another member of the team, Ann Nolan. Ann is a retired superintendent from Illinois. And we welcome her, and she will bring with her the opportunity to identify candidates in the North with whom she works frequently. So Mary Ann, you want to come on up and start the process on the copy, vacancy listings, and advertisement plan?
Sure. Thank you. The rest of the information in your package behind what you've looked at all deals with advertising the job, and you will see in there a list of possible advertising outlets and cost estimates. And these are professional sites that people who are interested in superintendent jobs go to. And you can see we're recommending Ed Week, Education Week, which is prime, and we're recommending an online advertisement for 60 days. And you can see the dates there that we've worked out, and also one print ad during one of their prime publications. So that's our recommendation for Ed Week. AASA, the American Association of School Administrators, is also a prime spot for advertising. And we also recommend that online ad be for 60 days. And you can see the dates. That pretty much covers your search. So those are two national sites that are pretty critical to our advertising plan. And then we also are recommending 4 weeks with the Association of Supervision and Curriculum Development, ASCD, because a lot of times your instruction people will go to that site because that specifically deals with their area. So we recommend that. And then, of course, in consideration of South Carolina administrators, too, we recommend 30 days on the South Carolina Administrators Association. So you will have some advertising going on throughout the time period of the search, right up to the deadline. So you see our cost estimates and our site recommendations. And then as far as ad copy, you will see 2 pieces with you. The first is the single page sheet, and that is what we will give our office manager who will place these particular ads. And so there's certain information that she will pull from this sheet. So we're just giving that to you as information. And so you can look over that. And then the other longer one with your logo on it is the more complete listing of the vacancy, and that goes on our BWP website. And all those other ads will refer them to the BWP website, because you only have so much space that you can use in some of those ads, those online ads. But so this is why the BWP website ad is important. And you will see that your communication department has helped us with the verbiage of describing your district and the school district as well as the community. So they've helped with that verbiage. And then you'll see that what will also come is this BWP website ad will have your leadership profile. So of course, that leadership profile will describe what we're looking for. And the idea is that candidates go there and say, hey, is that me? And so we hope it will be and that they will apply. But you can also refer your constituents to this site if they're curious to see how the leadership profile turned out, if they want to see it in printing. So those are our recommendations to you as far as your advertising plan.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Baskets. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Dr. Simons?
Mr. Chair, members of the board, before we go into item 5, we want to come back and pick a number. I guess you'll do that under your board discussion.
We are. In fact, the chairman of the Superintendent Search Committee, Mr. Hayes, will lead the discussion in executive session. And as per our discussion, we have 6 items for action. We may put them together in one motion.
Thank you, sir.
But all of those actions will be taken following executive session in regular session. Yes, sir. Thank you, Dr. Simon.
When we come back, we will go through the more description of what we've heard. Mary Ann and Odell and Ann and I will put that together and probably send it to you. And that's what we call the basic information source for what we call leadership profile. And if it's subject to your approval, we'd like to have some time to massage what we've heard.
Absolutely.
Put it together, send it to you. Mr. Chair, if you can find a way to distribute it to the board, and each board member can then take your time and massage it, make suggested changes, and then we'll try to work it back and forth so we can expedite the process. But the leadership profile is very important, I think, for one main reason. It's your guiding description of what you're looking for, based on the comments that we've heard and what you've shared with us and what you know. And we always recommend try to put that profile beside you when you interview or before you come into an interview, so you're fresh in your thinking about what you're looking for, what's your criteria, and then frame some questions around those important things. I think it's fair to say that we're hearing some very consistent things that help us put this profile together. So we'll share that with you when we get time to massage it more deeply.
So for clarification, Dr. Simons, we'll pull number 5 tonight, and we'll approve that at a later date. Am I understanding you correctly?
Yes, sir. Finally, wanted to say that throughout the process, there'll be opportunities for us to engage, communicate, and keep each other informed. Mr. Hayes has served as a point of contact. We usually maintain that point of contact with somebody on the board through the process. We have the opportunity to come back at your request to review the community survey, which is out there at this point, and that will give you additional information. Usually that is consistent with what we gather in the community engagement process. So we'd like to find some way to continue to communicate, not only when we come back to talk about the survey results, if you'd like us to do that, but also during the interval. Any questions or any need the board has, we'd be happy to have you share that with us so we can help you with whatever you feel the need to discuss or have need for other information. This, as you well know, everybody says it's a cliche. This is the most important decision you'll make as a board. It will set the tone for your district and make you or break you, and everybody wants to make it. So we will do the best we can to be sure you get good people. And we will also tell you when we bring the candidates back about the candidates. We'll invite you to ask questions about them. And anything we find, and we usually try to find, what are the weaknesses? What are the things that we know about the person? Because everybody's got weaknesses. And we don't pontificate on those, but we do want you to know if there's an issue, we want you to know what it is. We'll Google them. We'll find out what the press has said about them. We'll talk to people behind the scenes who know them that they don't know that we're talking to. And usually if there's too much bad stuff, they won't even be before you. But we want you to know what we know. And we'll do our best to share honest information about candidates. Mr. Chair, I think that concludes any formal statements I'd make. We're happy to answer questions.
Please, let me open up the questions. Mr. Hayes, we'll start with you, and we'll work our way down to Mr. McQuillan. Any questions from the left? No? And that's not your political stance. You're just to my left. Any questions to the right? We're hearing no questions. Dr. Simons, that tells me you and your team have been very thorough. I'd like to thank all of you for being here. We've all spent a good bit of time with you the last couple days, and it's very clear that you're professional, you're effective, and we're glad we're very happy to be working with you on this search. So thank you for your professionalism, and we look forward to working with you over the next almost how many ever months until we conclude in May.
It's our pleasure. We appreciate the opportunity. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.